What's going on, guys? It's your man Ed Hayes, the wholesale coach here, back for another video. And in this video, I'm gonna break down your cold calling funnel and give you a little bit more insight into the conversions that you need to make to actually start getting these deals. If you pump for this content, go ahead and hit that like button now. If you need this wholesale real estate content, I'm out here pumping out videos. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and get into this content, guys.
I want it all, expensive trip, exotic cars when I took that loss.
All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's dive into this. So we're going to be going over these cold calling conversion strategies for 2019. All right. I got y'all. You know I'm going to take care of y'all. Thanks for coming out, taking y'all time out of the day to actually learn these strategies, okay? So I'm going to keep you quick, but this is how you're going to know the numbers and be able to track your results when you're cold calling your real estate leads, okay? So let's start off with how you're going to get the leads, okay? That's the first step. How do I get these leads? Well, what I recommend is heading over to motivatedsellerleads.org. They got the best leads on the internet, period. So you head over there, you fill out a short form. You can get skip tracing to go along with it. It's 30 cents per lead, flat fee. Or you can head over to PropStream. I'll have a link for all of these sites down below as well. You can head over to PropStream, and they have a 7-day free trial. And after that, for $99 a month, you can get access to cash buyers, motivated seller leads, pretty much everything with comps, analysis. Everything is absolutely amazing. So check out the link down below for that. You can also check out listsource.com. You know, a lot of people talk about listsource. You know, I used it for a long time myself. I personally switched over to different services. Therefore, I can, you know, just be different from the competition. Like everybody's going to listsource, so I don't want to be going to listsource, getting the same leads, calling the same people that everybody else is calling. Okay, then your next option is going to be REI Pro. That's another site that's somewhat similar to PropStream, but I much prefer PropStream better than REI Pro. And then you got REWW. Okay, so all of these sites are great for getting leads. I highly recommend them all. I'll have the links down below. Okay, so you get your leads like that. From there, you're going to need to skip trace those leads. You're going to need to get these people's phone numbers so you can actually start reaching out to them. Okay. So what I recommend for that, like I said before, motivatedsellerleads.org, you can get the leads and the skip tracing done 2 for 1. So that's kind of just easy. So I recommend that. You can also go over to truepeoplesearch.com or fastpeoplesearch.com, batchskiptracing.com, fiverr.com, or upwork.com to be able to get your leads skip traced. Now, in the first 4 sites is nice and simple. All you got to do is just go there and order. They make it simple for you. On Fiverr and Upwork, you're going to be looking for freelancers who are going to do the skip tracing for you. Okay. All right. So you're going to go there, get your leads skip traced. Now you've got leads. They're all skip traced. Okay. So here's the numbers that you need to keep in mind when you're wholesaling. They're your known performance indicators. These different numbers right here that I'm going to show you next are the numbers that are going to make the biggest difference in your wholesaling business if you're primarily cold calling to bring in your leads. Okay, so pay attention. So this is how the funnel breaks down. So how many people are on your list? How big is that list? How many people did you get on the list from Motivated Seller Leads or ListSource or wherever you got your list from? Okay. From there, how many of those people came back with numbers after you did your skip tracing? Some of those people won't have numbers. Maybe some will come back as LLCs. They weren't able to get the phone number, whatever it may be. From there, how many people are you calling? Okay, that's a very, very important number. How many people are you actually on the phone with? From there, how many contacts have you made with those people? How many motivated homeowners have you actually talked to? Then from there, it's like how many leads have been created from those people? How many people have actually given you an opportunity to go see the property? Okay, and then from there, how many of those people have turned into contracts? How many of those people have actually signed a contract after you've been able to analyze the numbers and actually go view the property? Okay, how many contracts are you getting signed? And from there, the number that we all like the most, guys. How many closings are you attending this month, or have you been to? Okay, so keep all of these numbers in mind. And here's another way to kind of break this down. Okay, so how many calls are you making? As you see, it's kind of just like a flow chart, guys. It's wash, rinse, repeat. You should be able to constantly do this process over and over and over if you pay attention to your KPIs, your known performance indicators. So how many calls, contacts, contracts, and closings are you getting on a monthly basis? And you're going to be wash, rinse, and repeating this process. So I want you to be making at least 50, but preferably 200 or more calls per day. And that's just if you're manually dialing. So if you're on an actual dialer like Mojo, then you really want to be making 300 to 500 calls or more per day, at least, honestly. So you got to have those lead skip trace. You got to have them available. Keep that in mind. From there, how many contacts are you reaching out to? So like, you really need to pay attention to how many people are you calling, and how many people are you actually getting in contact with? How many homeowners are you actually getting in contact with? Because that's really determining the quality of that list. You need to actually be talking to people. Okay, from there is how many contracts are you getting? Like within 48 hours of seeing that, or of talking to that seller, you want to have already done the analysis as far as running the numbers, and you want to already have went out to see the property. Speed is the key, guys. If you're going to be doing 5+ deals per month, you got to be moving fast. As you all know, it takes time. Everything takes time. So you got to be moving quickly. So how many contracts are you getting signed after you go out and view this property, analyze the numbers, and you shoot the seller out an offer? From there, how many closings are you getting? How many deals are you wholesaling monthly? And you're going to tweak all of your other KPIs to actually increase that number of closings. So I think that you all can kind of get the gist of how this all works out. This is all a numbers game, and this is how you break down the numbers, okay? So here's how you implement these strategies. Some things to kind of keep in mind when you're making these cold calls. First, you really want to be using a script. It's going to help you immensely when you're just beginning. I can't stress that enough. You can get my scripts on my website. Brent Daniels has his scripts for free on his website. So you can get scripts, guys, okay? Just get yourself a script. Block out 2 to 4 hours to call per day. You want to make that time sacred. You don't want anything to come between you making these phone calls on a daily basis, okay? And then you want to listen to something motivational. You want to get yourself pumped up before you start making these calls. Something motivational, something relaxing, something that's going to get you in that mind state that you know that you need to be in to perform at your peak potential. Then you're going to want to get up and move around. Don't just be sitting around like you're going to sound so blah, blah, blah. Like you want to be up. You want to be active. You want people to feel that energy that you're letting off, okay? So get up and move around. Then don't get distracted by nonsense. Turn your phone on silent. Turn the notifications off of Facebook and Instagram during the time that you're making these calls. Don't take any calls from anybody else. Make this time sacred, whether it be, 9 to 12, 10 to 2, 4 to 7, whatever it is, make that block of time sacred. Okay. And then just go one at a time. You're going to master it over time. But just take one call at a time. Don't stress yourself out thinking, I got to make 150 calls. Just go one call at a time and you'll get better over time. Just be confident and be persistent while you're making these calls. And you got this. You got this. Okay. All right. So here are some of the most common bottlenecks that I see people face over and over and over again when they're starting to build up their cold calling pipeline. Okay. So here's the mistakes that you want to avoid. Let me just set this up here. Here's the mistakes that you want to avoid. Not making the calls yourself. You got to get on these phone calls, y'all. You can't just be sitting around hoping that someone else is going to do it for you. You could put it in the hands of a VA, but then you're drastically going to reduce the quality of those calls being made. No one is going to appreciate your business like you do. Okay. Not making enough calls. That's another thing. You got to be making these 50 to 200 plus calls per day. Like, and if that's just if you actually want to succeed. I mean, if you don't want to get wholesale deals, don't make no calls. Make 5-10 calls a day. But don't get me wrong, even if you make 5-10 calls per day, that's way more than what most people are making that's just sitting back watching videos, thinking about making cold calls instead of actually doing it. As soon as this video is over, guys, start taking action. You done watching videos. You've watched enough. Start taking action immediately after listening to this video, okay? You don't want to be freestyling phone calls neither. So you want to be using a script. You don't want to just freestyle and be making it up as you go along, especially if you're just beginning. Then just don't give up too easy. Like if someone's like, oh yeah, I'm not interested. Well, hey, do you have any other properties that you're interested in selling? Or, you know, like maybe the time isn't right. Okay, well, would you like for me to call you back in maybe a month or so? Like you want to be getting a follow-up call. You want to be getting to the next stage in the sales process on every single one of these calls. And then you need to make sure that you're following up with these leads. You have to be following up with it. And that goes into the next step, which is organization. You've got to be organizing your leads properly. So you want to be using a CRM or even just like Google Sheets. Use something to keep track of all of your leads so they don't just end up on loose scraps of paper all across your property. Okay, or all across your house. You understand what I'm saying? Like make sure that you hold on to these leads. Get yourself a CRM, like Asana is what I use. And I've also used Zoho. I like that a lot. And Copper is also another one that you could check out. So, and then don't doubt your capabilities, guys. You got this. You got to be confident. You got to be passionate. You got to know that you're genuinely calling people to help them. And in the process, you're going to be making some money. But come with that feeling of like, I'm about to change somebody's life today. I don't care if you're talking to buyers. I don't care if you're talking to sellers. You have to genuinely feel like you can help them. Excuse me. You have to genuinely feel like you can help these people. They need to feel that energy, that confidence and that comfortability from you to really feel comfortable with going along with you, proceeding with you to be the person who's going to help them sell their property. You understand? Okay. So let's just keep it moving, guys. So what to do next, right? What to do next? You already know what to do. Start taking massive action. Okay, guys, all of the links for what I was just telling you are in the description of this video. If you're listening to it on the podcast, it's going to be in the description of the podcast. But make sure that you start taking massive action, okay? Like if you need leads, head over to motivatedsellerleads.org. Get the leads, get them skip trace, start making these phone calls. Then just start tracking your KPIs. You know, how many calls am I making? How many contacts am I getting? How many contracts am I sending out from that? And then how many closings am I going to every single month? All right, guys, I know that y'all are ready to start taking this action. Let's go ahead. Let's get it. Y'all already know what to do. Hey, if this video liked you, man, if this video liked you, then you like it back. If you like this video though, guys, seriously, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, guys. I put out videos like this, describing in detail these little processes all the time. Once, sometimes more than that per week, guys. I'm trying to come with a video like every 3-4 days right now is what I've been kind of teeter-tottering on. So definitely stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. And I hope you like this content. Until next time, guys, I am out.